Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Will Badger. We're in No Man's Sky, building again today. Hopefully we can get some parts laid down and building that. So, I know Trav was in here yesterday, and he was asking what these are all for. Basically, they're painting the ground so I can see where they're at when I go into Blender. Because you will not see the terrain, all you can see is the parts you're putting down. Hey Oz, how's it going? Hey Joe. Yeah, I'm waiting for pizza myself. I ordered Domino's like about an hour ago, and apparently the girl's lost driving around in circles even though I just gave her directions on how to get to my house. So, we'll see if she ever makes it. I haven't heard my doorbell ring yet, so we'll see. But anyway, back to what we were doing. So again, I put down all these octagon cabinets so I can basically paint the ground. So when we go over to Blender, I can see the ground. Because without that, I don't know where to start placing parts. I got a general height about what I want to do. And then we also have our two TIE fighters. I deleted two of them. Because even with just those two TIE fighters, we're at almost 1,400 parts. So, gotta try to cut down wherever I can. The only thing we still need to do here pull up some pictures of an AT-AT. There is the one I was looking for. There was one that was a really large picture. There. This is a rendering, but should still be good enough to do what we need to do. Oh, you're gonna give me that crap. Alright. Fine. We'll just deal with this. Anyway, we need to come up with what we're gonna use for a feet here. I have no idea what to use for... and my pizza arrived. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. Alrighty, and we are back. We'll get to eat later. Alright, so anyway, got parts down. Let's figure out what to use for a foot. Again, I'm trying to keep parts down. I was hoping to use like a cylinder, but the problem with the cylinder is it's not coned. And I have no way of coning that, like making it look like it's, you know, smaller at the top. And it gets way too big. So, no, that will not work. Ah! Alright. So the only thing we're left with... do this really. Interesting. Really would rather have my selection box. This'll work. That's gonna drive me nuts. Oh, screw you, blender. Sorry. How's it going, Zoo? Putting in work for the Empire. Something like that. I just want to like add more ambiance to Trav's build, so I figure I'd give him something else on the planet. Alright. Well, we didn't want to do that. Copy, import. Alright, let's start over. Hide all that good stuff. Move back down to our center point here. Let's rotate that on Y, and then rotate it on Z, or X. Nope, Z. Negative 90. There we go. We're going to select 3D cursor, which is going to allow me to spin it in a radius. Let's Shift D, radius Z. Copy that around. Ooh. A little shy. Plus we want to rotate that a little bit. Hold on. Local. So if you look at the foot, come on. I knew there was a good picture somewhere. Just saved it. I was lazy this afternoon. But it's slightly slanted back. Not that much. Alright, let's try again. Killing me. Right. Shift D, radius Z. Killing myself sometimes. I have one or two right there. One. Right. Still a little short. Music okay? Is it too loud? I turned it down a little bit from the last time. Closer. That's probably gonna be too much. Ooh. Probably make that work. Stretch this just a little bit more. Too much. I'll leave that one there as a reference. A little bit too much. And this is like a micro adjustment. I don't know if you can see. That's how much I'm off. When I bring that around. Ooh, that's actually not too bad. See what it looks like without the back one. That one. All right. There's kind of the base, right? Now I gotta build that cap in the upper part. Let's put that on local, individual local. Copy that and spin it. Oop, wrong radius. X. Nope. Y. No. Oh, I'm in the wrong zone. Need to go back to global and 3D cursor, which is going to allow me to spin it off the center axis of all these. The further you drag the mouse out from center, the more precision you kind of have with it. All right. Then we got to come up with the toes. Which I was originally looking at using the wedges, but they don't fit right. Yeah, the toes down here. I was originally looking at the wedge. Problem is with how tall it comes up. I can push it down, and I mean I can make it, give it the look. The problem I'm having with that, so I mean if you were thinking the bottom of the foot was ground level, go to side view. So if you were thinking, you know, this was ground level, the bottom of that radius, right? I mean, that would be the toe for the most part. But the problem I have with that is if I go and I want to like position a leg up in the air like it's walking, then you're gonna see the bottom of that hanging out, right? It's not gonna be in the ground where it's not visible. You know, if I went to go and do that, you would see the bottom of it hanging out. Ooh. Even if I flipped it over. And not be as bad. Pull it in a little bit. Heck, probably with that. Let's see. Go back to our 3D cursor. Shift E radius Z. We can just type in 90. Then from there, repeat it. Now we got our 4 toes. All right. Now we need that upper cone as well. Might be able to... This is going to get parts heavy really quick if I keep doing this. Apparently Windows update. Oh, I did that. There we go. So let's copy that. It might not be perfect. Actually, the top is taller than the bottom. Grab all that. I can't do that either because if I stuff it in the ground, again, it's going to be visible if I make it making a step. It's killing me. Something as simple as a foot could drive me nuts for hours. My other option when I was looking at it earlier was under decorations, but I hate using them anymore, is the octagon cabinet. But I'm afraid that's not going to render. As you're flying in, the problem with the decorations is I don't think they have the same viewing distance. So that's like they pop in like right when you come up to them for the most part. All right. Way too big. Oh, I didn't want that. I want pyramid. I'm thinking I can use that for the... Trying to rotate it like I'm in Blender. I can use that for these points down here, like into the arms, onto the legs. Won't be one perfect. Maybe I could do a barrel or a cylinder. Even better yet, a pipe. No. And then I free grab it. Keep it up. $30, huh? Okay. Rotate. Oop. Yep. All right. Something put together here. And bigger. There. How can we do this? That's not going to rotate correctly. Need to get it centered. Then that way when I roll it, it's gonna be the right radius. If I stayed up there, but I'm on the cursor, it's gonna like spin way off. So let's see if I'm right. And we need to spin Y. Shift T, radius Y. Oh. There, X, my bad. And everything goes wrong. Just shy of being 180. Oh. Game over. I could just pull up that one cube, but again, I'm icky. We're going over, so I gotta rotate less. Yeah, it's looking good. Oop, not what we wanted to do. I want to hide it. So, what do you think? Doesn't look right. Like this needs to be flared out more. Even if I put toes on it, it's still not going to look right. This needs to be bigger down the bottom. Gonna drive me nuts. Now, let's start working on the upper legs and we can always come back to the feet afterward, I guess, right? What? Well, everything might not be to scale. Lab lamp? Possibly. Never thought of a lab lamp. Possibly work. Hey, Nitrous, I didn't even notice that was you. Get rid of that. Ooh, need to hide that too. Or we're going to do something stupid like delete it. If I upload that with deleted file, yeah, that's bad news. Definitely better. Let's see. Yeah, might just have to deal with it. Yeah, I can still get all the building pieces. It comes down to, like, if they add a building part, you essentially have to wait until, just like anything else with like a mod, for him to like update the packages like into Blender. So like if you were to open these up, it's basically like all the parts and like the snap points for the parts and everything else that's associated to it. So every time like they added the fireplace and all that, basically had to go and wait for him to put it in order to get it. So where was it? He named it something stupid. I don't remember what he named it. Where it's under unlockables. There it is. So like that's the fireplace. Didn't get it until again he basically put it in. Alright. Been around that the rest of the way. I might just have to do it. Alright. So I think we're gonna use just use some more plates, I guess. I can get rid of half of that arch. Yeah, the whole nipple thing. um, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, you got to deal with what you got in No Man's Sky, right? Wish. Tired of flipping back and forth. All right. Don't have to be square. If I lean it in, the corners are going to overlap. Again, we're just going to have to deal with it where we have to deal with it. Oh, not free grab it. Yeah, so when I go pull it over, those corners are going to overlap pretty hard. Yeah. Oop. Negative. Pretty much is. There you can do all sorts of stuff in Blender. This is just a small bit of what it can do. I mean, you got animation rendering. So I mean, if I wanted to, I could go in here and like I could draw bones and basically like animate this thing to walk if I wanted to make it like into a little cartoon object, you know. Yeah, you can do everything inside of Blender. This is just the easy end of it, the simple stuff. It can get super complicated super quick, and I'm not about to go there. We don't need all you. Get rid of stuff where we can. radius Y. Nope. Nope. When you change local, the axes change. So you kind of get lost as to which one you're looking for. That one a little more. If you think normal building bores you, this has got to bore the hell out of you. But I can essentially work on one side and copy and flip it. Well, I don't know if you've been noticing that. I just keep copying what I'm doing on one side and flipping it over to the other side. All right, so let's make a copy of this. And we can rotate it back. Way too much. There we go. Starting to get into each other. All right, then we can actually use the mirror, which is basically we're gonna go Shift D, which is the copy. Click it once, which is just gonna lock it back down in. Control M, and then we can select our axis. So we're gonna lock it there. We can flip it again once we get it where we want it here. And this little lose it, dang it. Alright. Gonna do that again, and before I move it, there's a little box down here in the corner, and that's basically I can reselect the axis that I want. Shift D, click, Control M. And we're gonna have to do two. Why is that not playing nice? There it goes. Okay, so I just Control M did again and then selected the axis I wanted. Alright, so let's give that a top, I guess. Alright, that should be all of them. We can double check. We can just give them a quick... missed a couple. I don't know. I haven't learned it. I just bashed my way through it, man. I mean, honestly, like, I have yet to master this in any way, shape, or form. I'm still missing one. Yeah. Hey, what does that go to? Oh, it's the upper one. Okay. This one right here. Now I should have them all. Yep. All right. Nope. That was not what we wanted. We'll do it up here. Why am I doing all this? All that. Sometimes you overthink shit. We can just spin it this way. Oop, forgot the bottom. Gotta flip them over. Radius X. Go. Like I said, Zoo, man, just give me a shout. I'll do what I can to try to help you out and walk you through as much as I can. I mean, for the most part, like what you're doing with Blender and No Man's Sky, it's so simple compared to, like I said, like what this program can actually do. You're scratching the surface of this using Blender from a No Man's Sky. And if you want to duplicate like what you could do in the game, you could pretty much duplicate. Like you're seeing me like add parts, so like I can hit that part, and if I hit duplicate, it's going to duplicate that one part. For whatever reason, it duplicated it upside down. It's a new one. Yeah, solid, sure. But yeah, then you can hit like next and previous or source, and it's going to change the location of where it's snapping on to the part that you're selecting. The biggest part is learning the connection to the part and these different selections. So again, like 3D cursor is going to bring my part selection, like it's going to roll off of the axis of the cursor. If I need to, I can move the cursor to different sections. So like I could select that and I could snap the cursor to that point, at which point parts are going to roll off of that part, you know, if I have it selected as 3D cursor. So that's like how I'm building a lot of this, you know, the different things you're seeing. Cursor to Warlord. So again, like I'm using that access point to be able to spin my parts in the direction I want to go or the radius I want to go. There's different ways of doing stuff. So again, like if I wanted to create like a circle, here, let's just do this. So you saw me doing it the one way. I like snapped the part down, moved it over. And again, there's shortcut keys, so I could just hit G, and it would allow me to slide this in the direction I want to go. Or I can hit R, which is going to cause it to go into a radius. So if I highlight it, hit the R button, it's giving me, you know, I can spin it whichever way I want. But if I hit like Y, it's going to lock it into the Y axis. If I hit X, it's going to lock it into the X axis. Z, so again, Z is normally vertical. And then X and Y are your two other planes. And again, using that and using the cursor selection, I can copy that part, rotate it on Z, and I can spin it. And then hitting the Shift R is basically like repeat. So I can just sit there and repeat. That was actually pretty damn close for the first try. But the other way you can do it is I can hit things like this. So I could do add curve, and if I did like circle, it puts down a circle. The other one would put down a line, and then you can maneuver that line however you want. But again, I can put down a circle. I can make that circle any radius I want to make it. Highlight that part in the circle. Hit duplicate along curve. It's going to ask me basically a percentage. You can't go above 1. So if I hit like 0.25 and hit OK, it's going to do it every quarter. So I've got 4. If we back up, hit duplicate again. So depending on this number, now it's going to be a lot. Oh, no, 4/5. My bad. Let's break that down further. Got to add a 0. If we add a 0 to that, it's going to just slam a ton of parts in there. So say I wanted to get them like dead on points, and I didn't care about the actual radius itself, like that wasn't an important part. I can highlight them all. Again, using that either 3D cursor, or I can go median point, highlight one of them. And as I move this one outward using the Y-axis arrow here, because I have them all highlighted and I'm selecting a median point, it's going... Oops, sorry. Why did that move you all? Sorry, local. Okay. But now it's going to blow them out. So I can sit there and drag it until they're dead on. I mean, I can get them perfect if I need to get them absolutely dead on perfect, but see how they're duplicating right here? So it's not actually dead on. It's not a perfect circle. You'd have to sit there and play with it back and forth, and you know, the number that you're using, that you're putting in here, is going to determine how many it's placing. And that placement and how far off of center you are is all going to determine, you know, how to get it. But you'd have to sit there and play with it again and adjust that number back and forth until you got them perfect, essentially. But yeah, I mean, it's the problem I don't like with this is that you're getting this secondary circle. Let's see if I hide all the parts except for this. So you're getting this circle, and you can't get rid of it. Like, it's a pain. Like, the only way you can get rid of it is essentially to load everything into the game, and when you bring it back, the parts aren't going to be attached to that circle anymore. But like, if you try to individually move any of the parts on that circle, it will usually mess with the rest of the parts inside that circle. So I don't like using this method. Duplicating it and like extending it and doing all that to get like multiple rings. So this is like how I originally did. Let's see, not to go back to the shuttle. And this might have it. Oh, actually I have to load it through the... If I edit it, it'll let me go in there. Essentially, I used that method originally, like when I did all these. And then the problem I had is if I needed to adjust any one of them or do something, it messed with all of them because they're attached to that circle, and anything that's done to that circle affects all of them. And it just, yeah, it makes it a nightmare. So that's when I learned how to do it the other way, and by stretching a part out from radius and spinning it around the radius. It's just easier to do. And once you get them in, you can still highlight them all and move them in and out, you know, like how I was doing it before using the median point. You can still do the exact same thing. It's just a little bit more work. This comes into good play like when you're... I'll start over again. So again, if I wanted to do like a line, and like these circles suck. And now we have a line. I wanted a radius. Right? I can move it however I want. So like, go over to 3 here. So say I wanted to make like a roof that was curved or anything like that, right? We have a line. If I again put out a floor panel and highlight them both and hit duplicate along curve, as much as it's not a curve, we'll go with this one again. So again, now we've got panels along that curve. It was a little off. That's why it's leaning like that. But anything that I do to that, so if I just select that curve line, anything I do to this curve line is going to affect all those panels. So if I spin that curve line, it spins all the panels along with it. In any of the directions I go. So it makes it good that I can control all those, and you know, just by controlling that one part. I can do any part, you don't have to do floor panels. I can do any part in a circle. I mean, if I wanted to get rid of all of that. What do you want to see snapped into a, I mean, anything you want. What, you want some sofa, corner sofas all snapped in a circle? I mean, this doesn't care about what you're selecting. I mean, I can snap a bunch of couches into that line if I want to. I can sit there and go to... where is it? It's been a minute. Oh, that's why. So if I select tab, it's going to bring me into the editing mode. And from there, I can like add segments. I can spin these segments, so I can like highlight this, and so if I bow this, it's going to change how this is orientated. I can shrink, I can grow it, I can twist it so it's, you know, bowing around that way. If I grab both the two corners at the same time here, and I hit segments, I can hit subdivide. Now it just gave me a third one in the middle. So. Oh, I'm in. Okay. So go back out, hit tab. Now we're back in layout mode. But again, like, see, I accidentally highlighted I had the curve highlighted and I hit delete, and it basically snapped all these parts back down into this one that I had down here. So again, like, you accidentally delete that line and all your parts like snap on the center point. It's annoying. So we can hit that, and again, like you see me doing earlier, I could Shift D, rotate on Z, and I can sit there and move it around and spin it however I wanted to. But I mean, you can do some goofy stuff with it if you really want. Highlighting them all. Because that one line is in there, though, this probably won't work. So like using the bend command, yeah, line's kind of messing it up. You would see like the different parts basically move around depending on where I snap the cursor is going to determine on where it's going to bend. So again, it's good for shortcutting build stuff. I've gotten more and more out of the game. I used to build as much in the game as I could and came in the Blender only to do the stuff that was like a pain in the ass, or again, like trying to make a perfect circle. Like the amount of time and effort it takes to do it like Beebs' way, I could do it in 5 minutes and have a dome instead of just a circle. Because once I get that circle, again, I can copy and rotate it however I want. I can spin each individual part to stand up, or you know, move in a certain direction, and then again spin those parts or copy them and move them wherever I need to. So I have 1 foot. In reality, I have 4 feet because I can copy this and spread them apart and move them into the different positions I need to. So again, if I wanted to have these 4 feet, and granted I'd rather have the leg and all that constructed first, I can just grab it, Shift D, hit G, which is movement essentially, and then X. There's 2. You can highlight both of them. Shift D again, G, Y. That's going to allow me to drag it the other direction. So if I wanted, you know, 4 feet, I got 4 feet. If I wanted to make one look like it was, you know, doing that, like on the picture over there. Highlighted another part there. So, I mean, simple as that. I can lift that foot up. I can, you know, move the parts where I need to move them instead of having to delete it, put a bunch of wires in, or build a bunch of scaffolding. Like, who wants to do all that? I ain't got time for that. I'm old. I just want to get it done. Too wide. Again, that's why I put these down. So now when I go to place those feet, I can turn them and you know, maneuver them so they match the terrain, so it doesn't look like it's just like stomping into the ground. And they're a little too big altogether, because again, this should be like 1 foot, another foot, and then the 2 back feet in here, and then it should be up about where the body is. So we're a little too big still. Just to be sure. So sometimes when you go to scale stuff, if you're in global, depending on your selections here, not all the parts are going to scale the same. You're going to have, you know, like it'll start gapping in certain parts. By doing this, it's going to scale it down all at the same time. But again, I can sit there and maneuver each foot to match what's going on. You know, like I can see this one's tipping, so the ground slopes away right there. So again, if we go into the game, it's gonna be I was right. On this side. Essentially, how you can see each one of the octagon cabinets leaning. It's leaning because those are one of the only parts that will match the ground in the direction that the ground's facing. So you try to lay this down, it's always going to be level. It's going to, you know, go into the ground or go into the part in order to stay in a level. Same thing with most of the parts. They'll always stay level. But things like the lab light, the pill light, they'll follow the ground. It's hard to see it because it's under the grass. But that's one of the interior parts that will follow the ground. It will, whatever you go to put it on, it's going to follow that angle. So it allows you to, again, paint the ground and see what you're doing, see where the bulges are in the ground, so I can get my feet positioned properly. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Because I have yet to even get anywhere. 4 feet are not anything. We need a lot more than 4 feet. Get back to 1 foot, shall we? Hit 50 steps. Thinking of just 2 floor panels with a short wall for the leg structures. So again, R is to rotate, Y is the direction we want to go. Hit 90. Copy that and flip it back the other way again. Shift D, rotate the 180. Close. Oh, I see the difference. Actually, no, there is ways of creating these slopes and angles in No Man's Sky. In the game, it's going to take you a long time, but it's totally doable. I mean, look at what Trav's doing. So if we go over to his build, I mean that's what he's doing. He's creating his angles with wire. Where the hell's my ship? There it is. Luckily, it's only over the hill. So again, I'm sure you've been following him, just as you know, he's putting those angles in using Beavs's technique and the total wire control and all that. But that's essentially what he's doing, is he's locating those angles through various means. Oh, come on. Really? Love this game sometimes. Of course, flip it upside down, all of a sudden it wants to land. Yes, each wire is a piece, but again, he's going to be deleting all those wires. They're just there to locate. So when you look at those angles on the wire, that's the angle the part's going to follow, right? And he's using the light boxes to get those angles. I don't know if he left me with permission over here. No, he didn't. So we'll have to go back to mine. But again, like using light boxes, I can stack light boxes in multiple ways and then pull a wire to get the angle I need. And then the part, depending on what part it is, you have to pull the wire in different ways. But most of the time, like a floor panel, it's going to follow that line. Depending on the part, it might snap up off of that joint. And then again, like that's why he's doing his build on two base computers. So all the scaffolding, all the wire is on one base computer, and then the parts that he's going to be placing are on the other base computer. And the reason he's doing that is, one, it's keeping the parts separate. The parts count separate between the two bases, but also he doesn't have to worry about phase deletion now. So if a wire passes through a part in a certain way and it goes through like basically the snap point inside the part, if it goes through that snap point, when you go to delete that wire, it's going to delete the part. That's basically where the phase deletion is coming from, as far as I gather. So again, if those wires are all intermingled into that build and he goes to delete a wire, he could delete a quarter of his build just because of phase deletion. But since he has it on two base computers, he can build all the wires and all of the scaffold on the one base computer. When he goes to delete it, it's not going to phase delete the parts that he wants to keep. It's only going to delete the parts that he uses scaffolding. But again, now that we're back here, Yeah, just build up off the ground. I hate light boxes. Come on. I mean, this is how Beebs does most of his stuff too. Oh, come on, play nice. This is what makes it annoying. Because again, you can find the angle if you need to. I mean, it's doable. Let's say I needed that angle. Let's use wood. There's my angle. Again, like I can snap or stack light boxes or whatever I need to get the angle I need with the wire. And once I have that angle, I can start snapping stuff to it. It's just depending on the part, they might not, like the next part, like say I chose, let's see, under tech. Like if I did like a depot, it's not going to lay down the length. It's not going to lay down the angle of the wire. It's going to be pointing upward off of that joint, right? But knowing that, again, I can move the wire in the way that I need to in order to get that part to be at the angle I want it. So if I needed to lay that silo down in a particular way, I could make my wire go vertically, which is going to cause my part to lay down, you know? Or if I need it slightly up, 5 degrees, 10 degrees. And using the light boxes, you can figure out degrees. So going... So going like up 2 and over 2, and if you snap a line between those two, it's going to give you a 45. And then as you work your way out in each direction, you can change that angle, you know, accordingly. But I ain't got time to be laying lines down like Travis. He's been working on that Falcon for weeks now. I basically helped him with the curve, figuring out that curve one night. And once he got the curve laid out, he put down a couple of the panels and, you know, worked on the look. And once he got it nailed down, I basically jumped out of the game, went into Blender, pulled it down, you know, and had his just 2 rows of panels for the dome of the main ship, the body. And sat there and just spun it really quick. And in like 3 minutes, yeah, I sent him back a picture of basically his Millennium Falcon already built. But he's been spending weeks on just getting these wires where he needs each wire. Meanwhile, you know, I went into Blender and did everything he's been trying to do in a couple of minutes. And that's just, it just makes it easier. All right, I gotta get a drink. I'm thirsty as hell. So give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. And actually, Nate, to get back to you on the each wire being a joint, I was actually thinking, or a piece, I was actually thinking about the other day, and as Blender sees it, a wire is actually two pieces, because it doesn't count the wire. It counts each end of the wire. It counts the connection point itself, not the wire. So that is one of those things that is actually counted twice, if you look at it that way. Sorry guys, I stole some pizza too. I'm starving. I haven't eaten all day, so you might hear me kind of gnawing down. Sorry. Right, where were we? We were in Blender. So really, anymore, I use a game as a viewing portal or program. I can build the part, and then once I get the part built, I can go into the game and view that part. Alright, so then we said we were gonna copy these, move it on a Z. Yeah, pizza. Unfortunately, it's Domino's pizza. Ugh. Not a real fan. Alright, how wide does this need to be? Pretty much all the way. Okay. I'm originally from New Jersey. I live in Utah now, and the food here sucks. It's abysmal. They don't understand real food here. If it doesn't come from like a large chain, they don't know what to do with it. It's sad. Like, I'm used to little mom and pop shops, you know, like every corner had a pizza store, and go in there and, you know, get everything from cheesesteaks to pizza and, you know, anything Italian food really. And here if it's not Domino's or Little Caesars or Papa John's, it doesn't make it. It's sad. All right, what are we looking for? Concrete half wall? Half short wall? No, just short wall. I want Y. We're gonna pull those panels in a little bit. Yeah, it'd probably work. That'll work. You're not going to lean the way I want you to, are you? Forgot it was vertical. I mirrored it and then tried to flip it, and I wasn't thinking that it didn't need to be flipped. All right. I didn't mute you, did I? Yeah. You hear me gnawing on my pizza? How does that sound? All right. Now this thing. Again, I'd like to try to use like actual parts for the parts, because I don't like doing everything out of floor panels or, you know, wall panels. The less parts, the better. Again, we're already up to, you know, 1400 plus. Granted, that's with the two TIE fighters, but I don't like to try to go above 26, 25. That's when you start to have the load-in issues with consoles and everything else, so I try to stay under that. Every once in a while I push 3,000, but I try to stay under it. But sometimes looking at that menu just doesn't cut it. I'm just trying to think of a part. Ooh. Got it. Problem with using that, I'm thinking about using one of the Exocraft beds. I'll have to put put one somewhere over to the side, so then that way it actually generates on that. Let's do back. That's gonna be pushing that out there. You're gonna see that glowing out there. I didn't even think about that. Let's see. Oh, because I went in and out of my ship. Yeah, we don't care about that. 2040. What tables are... Oh. Yeah, but they have the big bottom on them. Yeah, that's what I was afraid was going to happen. They're like perfect too. That sucks. That would be perfect if it wasn't for a glowing mass in the middle of it. I guess we could do a round room and just shrink it. Yeah. No, we don't want all that. And again, I try to stay away from interior parts when it comes to like building. That's the octagon one. See, once I enlarge it, that base is going to stick out the other side, I think. Might be able to just cheat it. That should be bigger than the leg. You know, the radius is larger. Wouldn't want to go bigger than that. Still not poking out the other side, but no. That's us. All right, 44. Where are we? Yep, something tells me. So then I gotta deal with that if I use the tables. Then I'm gonna have to spin like a floor panel in there to fill that. All right, where's our main? Oh, not rotate. It's got that bold on it. What can I do? Can I do? Alright, let's see if that works. So I stuck a ladder in the middle, which will make the roof go flat. Hopefully. We'll find out, won't we? 47. I think it's about that time. Chat, what do you think? It's been a minute. All right. Nope. Didn't pull on the roof. I think we still might have to use it though. Ooh. Because I shrunk it down the door. It's all big. Funny. Want to get in there. See if that ladder's in there. Okay. Because it's shrunk down, it's not actually opening properly. It's a new one. Can't say I've actually resized those. I tried to go in them before. Oh, it's in there. I think we'll just have to go without it. Maybe make it face make it face outward. It is what it is. We have this strap going down the back side. Maybe if we work that in, slide it over a little bit. floor on top of that one. It's my short wall. There it is. And these don't snap for whatever reason, like what I was talking about earlier, how you could like basically snap parts like you were in the game. Yeah, these don't snap. I don't know why. Once you get one down, you can snap one onto another one, but like you can't snap them like what they should be snapping to, which is the floor panel. Copy that, move it down. There you go. All right, that's like that brace. I'm on the upper one. That flares a little. Look, flared. Yeah, a little bit bigger. My other thing is how's that? It's like a plate. Like another little teardrop shaped plate. I'm debating whether I just want to leave it straight or whether I want to angle these as well. Because, again, in the attempts of reducing parts, I might be able to do this. Let's see. 50 GG. Make it much bigger. I might be able to hide it with this. Yeah, if we select active element, you pick that and actually roll it from this lower piece. Me. Too much. What's everyone doing out there? Everyone falling asleep or what? Hope not. How did I only select one of them? Whatever. Oh, that's right. It's too wide. All right. Hey, look, we built the leg. We're just moving right along. Where's our main rooms? You only have to work a half day today? Then you go in for 4 hours at 12 o'clock at midnight? And hi, Trav. Now what to do with this? Did we cheat and not put that in? Kind of just do something down here. Had to break into work, huh? I think that's when you just go home. That's when you just call it quits and you go home. Alright, what's the story with that? This one's lower? I don't know what to do about that part right here. I don't know if I should put it in or just like kind of make the body kind of square down there and attach them into the body, and then maybe put like a storage unit, one of the storage containers, you know, the mining storage, like down along the belly there to do that. That's going to eat up a lot of parts trying to make that. Well, going back to your table theory, I'm not going to have a fat enough lip. That go. Table? There you are. Yeah, no, one of my last jobs today, I was trying to get in, and I didn't have the lockbox code to get into the house. I don't go out those jobs that often. I usually save that for the idiots. But yeah, I would go out there to like do something stupid. What did I have to go out there for? 1 missing closet rod, 5 missing door stops, 2 mirrors. What else did I have to do out there? That was it. And idiots that'd been out there before me, in their notes, when they said there was 1 missing closet rod, didn't put down the size. So I have no idea what size to bring. It's just stupid shit. But I never go out there, so yeah, I didn't have the lockbox code. So I was like waiting there forever for someone to get back to me, and then finally gave up and just picked the lock. By the time someone got back to me, I was already in the house. But if I didn't, I was gonna have to go back, and I don't want to go back either. Well, I feel you on the 30 hours. Oh, I built that on the wrong side. Duh, 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 duh. You want to make that... What did I make the inside? I made that the inside. Yeah, so this has to be on the other side. Come on. Supposed to be on that side. This one. This one. Huh. That needs to be flipped back around. When you get them all. Well, the sad part is that someone didn't have the little lock bar going across, and you were able to hit the button and open the door from outside. Sounds like a bit of a security flaw to me. Wall might actually be better there. That's 90. Much. Curious. Mr. Trav, we stopped by your build earlier. I was explaining things. Right. I'll read up in a minute here. I was at the Falcon. Someone was asking me, or saying that I can only use Blender to angle parts certain ways, and I was saying no, you could actually, angle parts any way you want inside the game. It's the matter of pulling a wire at the angle you need. But I was basically explaining like how you've been at that build for quite some time, and like you're pulling all these wires to get the angles that you need, and I just don't have that type of time, or I'm not willing to spend that type of time. So Blender. Oh no, looks like a leg, right? Yeah, oh, it's a leg. Oh no, can't get too detailed here. That's for sure. That's gotta get pulled over a little bit. No. Mirror. Oh, we're back to 4 legs again. Oh. So everything's centered again. That's what I was doing. I basically highlighted everything and snapped at the cursor. And that way, as I work on it, again, I can work on one side and mirror or flip parts as I need to. And that way I don't have to do both sides individually. Pushing 18 almost. It's not too bad though. Let's see how many parts it is total. 412 parts right there. Do it 4 legs instead of 1. Trying to think if the scale looks off. Oh, tree, get out of my way. I'm gonna have to shrink that all up a little bit, huh? Well, that might be right on. Sorry, time for a reload. So you made it through work without getting your arm caught up in any machinery today, Trav? Even though you hadn't slept for 30 hours? Ow. Forgot to hold the shift button. Well, that won't. Oh, I forgot to adjust that up. 0.2. And do it. I should come back down here. The foot needs to be rolled a couple degrees in. It needs to be bent a little bit. That's really quick. All right, that's that one. Eye best close. Okay. I roll it a little bit more forward a hair. Although I'm not getting a perfect picture of the ground there either. I'm gonna go with that on that one. Straighten that out a little bit. Just take closer to the ground. Time to look-see. Well, I see one problem already. It's going away from your base. So you're in luck, Trav. You got a little bit longer. It's heading the wrong fucking way. God damn it. Fucking waste. Huh. Bummer. What about gray will work? Not too bad though. Looks like a bottom half, right? It was walking the right way. God damn it. What a pain in the ass. Alrighty. Oh, I just stole one of my feet. Son of a bitch. I did it a while ago too. Sure. Yeah, that's what I want you to do. What is that? I mean, delete that later. Ah, we get it right now. Rotate. Yeah. Well, at least both back feet get to be straight now. Oop. Want to activate. Oh, missed a couple. See them sticking out? Where'd those come from? Those two. Hey, Diamante, what's up, man? You've been missing the Oreos. way down. All right, might have gotten lucky on the rest of them. And we can roll that one a little bit. Give her a look. All right, 947. All right, unload that. Oreos, huh? Num 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 num. I passed. And roll it back a little bit. That one. That one needs to roll down to the right. These two just need to go towards the back. That one needed to be rolled anyway because it's sticking into the leg. Might actually have to bend the whole leg. What's that? When did you ask something at the end of the stream? The last one? Did I miss it? Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, I've watched Cowboy Bebop. Well, you want me to make Spike's ship? Or their main ship? I got no markers out here. I don't know what I'm going off of. Back will get rotated. Don't look too bad. Yeah, might be able to get away with that. The freighter? Yeah. I have to look it back up. I haven't watched it in a little bit, so I don't totally remember what it looks like. But depending on the shape, it like, I'm trying to remember if it was kind of boxy or whether it had like bubbly kind of shapes to it. Bubbly shapes would be a little bit more, I'm not going to say I wouldn't be able to replicate it, but it would probably start to chew a lot of parts up. Whereas if I can do straight objects or, you know, facets on it, it's a lot easier to break up and use less parts. Yeah, like I said, I can get about 50%, a little bit more than 50% the size of a 4 tile, and then consoles just stop rendering it. I have yet to have. I mean, I haven't, and we haven't tried Trav since the newest update, when bases started rendering better. I don't think we ever went back there and looked again, but I know the last time I reduced them by half again, you still weren't able to view them. So for landing in water. Yeah, no, I know I had like, yeah, it's doable. So that, I mean, the bow would be kind of hard. Like, yeah, that'd be kind of rough. I might be able to do that. The hard part is chasing that line and not having like whatever you're using blow out of the top of the, you know, the top of the ship there. It's gonna chew up some parts, that's for sure. Yeah, no, I know they all launch from the whatchamacallit. No, like I said, I've watched it. I haven't watched it in a while, so I forgot what the basic shape of this was. Dude, yeah, it'd be rough. like I said, once you start getting into rounded stuff, you'll just start eating parts, because for me to make a curve, you know, like it just, to make it look smoother, you got to make parts smaller. So that's like the whole problem with the TIE fighters. Each one is like 600 something parts, even though it's small. It's not a very large object. It's pretty small. It's eating up as much parts as Travis's Falcon will, easily. But I've got a smooth radius. Like, if you look at that, the radius on them, since I used a small floor tile and then shrunk them even more, you know, I'm able to put more parts in there to make it look smoother. But the problem with that is there's, like I said, there's 653 or something like that parts for just one of these. That's like 4 of them the other night when Trav was in there. Was, what was it? It was 2,700 parts roughly. I mean, that was what was causing most of his loading issues. Probably also didn't help that even though I deleted the other one, it was still in his save. So he was pulling down both of my bases, both with, you know, 2,700 something parts. Yeah, the inside's like pretty sparse. I got a seat and a little control panel, and that's about it. Because again, like, I wanted to have to reduce parts, and I've even been thinking, like, if I want to do a squadron of them, I could even go so far as basically using a sphere for the center, and it just won't have a usable cockpit, you know what I mean? So, like, I could easily go, let's see, where is it? Version 3.1. If I did something like this, 661 parts. And most of them are in this back spot right there. Let's say we deleted that, right? Now we're down to 378 parts. Ooh, I didn't want to actually delete all that. Let's go back. Hide this as well. See, a little seat, cockpit. But if we were to fill that with just a sphere, I can reduce the parts by almost half once I get it in the right spot. Global. I was actually thinking about doing. I was actually thinking about doing this the other day. Just so again, if you want to do a squadron of them. Oh, not that. Both of them. Yeah, lose a little bit of detail because that's probably going to poke through. Let's see. That's all good, man. I don't mind squirrels. Like I said, I was actually wanting to do this anyway because, like Trav was saying the other night, like, oh no, leave off 4. I want a squadron of them. I want a squadron of them too. Like, I don't want to really have it only be 2. I'd rather have it be like 4 or 6. I was actually thinking about doing this because the only ones I need to have detail on are like ones if I make them like a landed one, you know what I mean? And then at that point I could have one of the full versions going. Let's see what that looks like. I'm sure it's gonna look like shit. I mean, I'm not doubting that. Especially considering you can't color that damn sphere. You can only color parts of it. Certain questions, I mean, that's kind of why I started to stream, is I felt no one was covering how to use Blender, like what it's about. So I figured I might as well start. And it's nice to see that Beebs is actually now gonna possibly start doing it. So I mean, overall, like I could pull that screen out a little bit more, just so it's more visible. I could actually roll the panels a little bit more. But if it wasn't for the banding that you can't color, it wouldn't be as bad. But even if you like hit it with rust, like it's still, yeah. But I mean, overall, like at a distance, it sells it. Once, like I said, if I pulled out that screen a little bit more, and that cuts down parts by half. I mean, that brought it from 662 to 387. I mean, it's kind of worth it. Where the hell did my mouse go? Oh, I was playing this game again. I switched in and out of game. It kind of stole my mouse cursor. Where are you? Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking it the wrong way. Trust me, like, it's still building as far as I'm concerned, and you still have to come up with a thought, of what you want to build, and you still have to try to make the parts of No Man's Sky be what you want them to be, and portray the picture in which you're trying to make, So whether I'm manipulating it this way or in the game, I can do either one. I just choose Blender because I can knock stuff out faster. Instead of, again, like Trav's having to fight all those wires to place what he wants to place, he's going to take a month to build that damn Millennium Falcon. I built it in like 30 minutes at best after he got the main structure in place. I was able to capture it and bring it over to the blender and grab the couple parts that make the skin, and I built it in a couple minutes and sent him a picture of it and be like, here, this is what it's gonna look like. You know, instead of taking a month, I did it in a matter of minutes. Like, I'm taking, what am I at now? It's 10 o'clock. I'm at 3 hours. And I'm still, I mean, this is, you know, where the hell's my mouth now? And that's all I built. You know, I built 4 legs. And in reality, I built 1 leg. And I've copied it and pasted it 4 times, you know, 3 more times. So I took 3 hours to build 1 leg. It's no different in a game. I mean, it's going to take even longer because I've got to sit there and try to figure out those angles and place the wires, to snap the part. Like, I just don't want to spend that type of time. It's not that I can't do it. I can do it. I just choose not to. It's a waste of time. And that's exactly where, like, basically Beebs is. Like, he's tired of wasting the time to put the picture in his mind into the game. And I totally understand where he's at. So, I'm not taking it the wrong way. And if I come off cross or anything, don't take it that way. Just, it's how I see it. It's still building. It's just a different fashion or form. But I think it's greatly misunderstood. And that's again why I kind of want to start streaming it, because no one else was. And everyone looks at it like it's this magic wand and that it just, you know, makes stuff happen. It doesn't. I mean, you still have to come up with an idea. You still have to figure out how to make these parts be what you want them to be. It's just, yeah, it's a little easier to place them in the ways you want them, but... All right, hey, my mouse came back. Yay! I just needed a break, apparently. So did I. All right, where were we? We're gonna get rid of you again. No, it's your opinion. Everyone's got one. I mean, yeah, would it be, like I said, easy to make this in the game? No, it wouldn't be, but it's doable. I'm not gonna, you know, it's doable. It's just, it'd be a fight, that's for sure. Where I can knock it out in a day or two, you'd be spending a month to make this happen. You know, placing parts and glitching and building all your freaking scaffold. Like, trust me, I bow down to Trav right now. Like, he's going through, he's got a jungle gym of wires sitting there. I can't even make sense out of it. Like, I couldn't build like that. Even how he's building it, if I were to build it like that, I'd have to build like entire sections of it. I couldn't have all that wire floating out there. It would drive me insane and just confuse the shit out of me. Like, I don't know how he's keeping track of what snap point he's going for, because I would lose track instantly. I got through the storyline of the game and did some building before I even knew how to glitch build, and learned how to glitch build and went through that, and like I said, I just got kind of bored, and what was in my head I couldn't put down as easy as I wanted in the game. So at this point I use the game as like a viewing aid, or like a, you know, a basically what it is, just allows me to view my creation and run around it. But I don't play the game anymore. Like, I don't really, like, you know, the expeditions came out, I didn't do any of them. They don't even interest me. Building is what interests me. Yeah, no, there's a lot of people that kind of, you know, stick their nose up at people that use Blender. That's what I said. Like, I'm kind of happy that Beebs is in that situation where he's tired of it. Like, he's tired of fighting the game. He knows how to build what he wants to build in the game. He can do anything. He could, if he wanted to build this, he could build it. Like, it would take him a while, but he could do it in the game. I don't have that type of patience, and he's pretty much lost it at this point. Like, you can see it when he's playing. He's frustrated with the mechanics of the game just not working how he wants them to work. Even when it should be working how he wants it to work, it's still not working right. Like, why fight it, man? Like, he's proven he can do it. The macros aren't too bad. The problem with macros is that what one person says works for them isn't going to work for you. Everybody's hardware is different. I've said it multiple times. It's all within polling rates, FPS, the hardware you got in the machine, the peripheral, you know, the mouse you're using. If you're trying to use a keyboard, if you're trying to use both a keyboard and a mouse, the polling rates are different between your keyboard and mouse. Even if you set them the same, the polling rate fluctuates. And if you're trying to use, you know, like adjacency glitching, and you're hitting the letter and or key and, you know, clicking on the mouse, whereas a controller, you might be doing it almost at the exact same time. When you're using a keyboard and a mouse, it's almost a delay. You can almost count the 1 before you click the mouse after you hit the key, you know, to move it over to the next object, because there's such a delay in how everything's read. Whereas if you put it on a controller, since everything's going down the same path and it's all in the same poll rate, it's instantaneous. It's just like if you were using a console for the most part. Like, it's identical. It's one than the other, you know, like almost, you know, like snapping 2 fingers at the same time, like GT was saying in his little tutorial that he was doing the other day. Yeah, as long as you can get it all on one controller, it's pretty much the same. Macros do that for you if you're using, like, I use macro on my mouse, but the only thing I use it for is basically like wire glitching, so banjo, blender glitching, stuff like that. Because holding it down is basically like holding the wire key. I can select the part, and the minute I let it up, you know, it's like switching over to the other, you know, it's doing everything inside the macro, but you have to play with those adjustments between each keystroke. Like, you might have to add a millisecond, delete a couple milliseconds. You just gotta sit there and play with it, and it's gonna change. Like, it's gonna periodically just, you're gonna go to use it, and it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And you're gonna have to go back into the macro and do a couple finite adjustments to those milliseconds, and go and try it again, and go and try it again until it's like working almost every time. And then you leave it alone, and then they do an update, and it's jacked to shit again, and then you gotta start all over. It's a pain in the ass, but it makes it so I can do a banjo or a wire glitch or a blender glitch like almost 90% of the time. Like, every time I pull that hit that button, pull the line, and go to place that part, it's gonna go in. I can almost guarantee it. All right. Let's back up and get those parts back out of here. Hopefully we're 50 steps. Yeah, there we go. What do we want? Technology, or is there actually? Storage. Looking for those damn storage tanks for mining. If you ever need help at anything, Devonta, you can always reach out. I mean, like I said, I use macros. I can talk you through something if you need help. Makes it a lot easier to play the game. Or at least build, should I say, not play the game. There's power. Storage. That's the self-mining unit. There's a gas extractor. Miner large, miner small. The hell is that? Oh, that's the reclaimer. Tractor silo. Why I'm placing that one so far forward. Let's go. No, dude, I just, like I said to other people, I bashed my way around Blender. I didn't go to school for any of this. I do construction for a living. The only thing I ever went to school for other than school was for automotive. But I quickly learned that my hobby was not my career. When I saw I couldn't get my hands into an engine bay of the newer cars out there, I realized that I wasn't going to be a mechanic. I'm used to working on old 70s junk where you can like pretty much climb in the engine bay and, you know, work on it. I used not Blender, but I've used other 3D programs in the past. I've done other stuff. So back when like Androids first came out and all that good stuff, I got heavy in the modding phones and stuff like that, and wound up working with a couple of guys that were basically making their own UI. And so I used the 3D program to basically generate a little Android character that was fully sculpted out, and then basically gave them like a bone structure so you could manipulate them, and then made like the different objects for the different things. So like Twitter, he was holding like a little Twitter bird, and then like email, he was like kind of popping out of like a envelope and stuff like that. So I was building basically all the icons for the UI, in 3D, even though it didn't need to be. It's just because I wanted to get like shadowing right and everything else, and I didn't want to sit there and play with it, so I just built it in 3D and was basically doing two-dimensional pictures of everything, but of a 3D image, so then that way all the shadowing would be right and everything would, you know, be what I wanted it to be. Um, 98 Jeep, huh? So, my first vehicle was a hand-me-down, like, what was it, an 87 Plymouth K car, man. Fucking piece of shit Reliant. I bounced that thing off a curb, bent the frame, and then finally was like allowed to buy the vehicle I wanted with my own money, and went and got a 79 Bronco and proceeded to blow the motor up, put a new motor in it, and basically put close to 40 grand into it, and it looked like a $1,500 beater, but it had by the time I got done with it, it was worked over 460, punched out to just under like a 472, pushing over 450 horse. It was basically a if you ever watched mud bog racing, like drag racing kind of thing, it was a motor for that minus the nitrous. And yeah, so I used to live in Jersey and like, you know, lived in pretty much swamp area. That's all you did was just drive around and mud bog. That truck was mean. All right, where were we? We'll think about that one. We'll see what we can do. Like I said, it's possible. Yeah, so nitrous mud bog truck, like, you know, you should know exactly what that is. That was my motor. It was basically, my friend used to do that before they closed the local strip, and so like his spare motor was sitting under the workbench, and when I blew my motor, like, we were sitting in his shop like discussing what we were gonna do, and I just kept staring under the bench, and finally he caught on. And like I said, the local like drag had closed, so he really didn't have a use for it other than it was just a spare motor sitting under his workshop table. But I convinced him to sell it to me, and we slapped that in my old Bronco. Yeah, but you still, if you live in Florida, then you also have freaking those dumb idiots that love to go out in the Everglades in their trucks. You know, you got the swamp buggies up on freaking Rice Kings, and all it is like a truck frame with a couch on top of it, and not even a bed, or not even a, you know, cab. That's a strange group of people right there. All right, time for the body. Let's get some floor panels in under there. All the way at the top. And there we are. The problem is, if you actually look, it's like kind of rounded. And then looking at this, where the hell did he climb up into the bottom of this thing when it's like all like this rounded structure. If you remember, it was a flat panel when he like sliced through the floor to throw his grenade up in there. What the hell is that? Yeah. Anyway. Oop, these need to be flipped upside down. Yeah, we'll leave them that way. I can also do things like this, so watch. If I hit this, Control P. So Control P says parent. So this one tile now will move all of them. I basically said that's the parent of all these other objects, right? But if I highlight that one and highlight this one and then hit my snap button, now it's right where it belongs. Highlight them again. And now it's Alt P. Clear parent, keep transformation. We can do that again for the other side. There we go. Alt P. Make it 10 degrees, so we gotta, this is the number. Rotate Y, -10, because we're gonna go the other way. And then we'll pull those in just a second. Right out here. Rotate Y, it's going to be 10. Other side's going to be our negative again. Well, we got those highlighted. We'll highlight these. Highlight those. Go to our median, focal. Again, they're all going to go... Prove me wrong, huh? Nice. I got a story there for you for boats. So again, I originally came from New Jersey, and I basically lived at the shore and lived with like 5 other people in this big old Victorian house. But one of my friends and roommates worked for a boat manufacturer I doubt they're around anymore, and if they are around, then they're probably going by some other fictitious name because they're shady as shit. But it was Cobra Offshore Race Boats, and his main job there was to install all the electronics and then go out and take them out for a test run. So, yeah, I got to go on a lot of test runs of offshore race boats. So yeah, I can attest to that being a good time. No, I know, but it's still, being on a boat at speed is sketchy. Let's just say that. Being strapped into that and like being just a little bit off the shoreline, maxed out. That, yeah, no. You're just waiting for the front end to hit right and go under and, you know, freaking submarine. Long Beach, huh? So, if you know New Jersey, I grew up basically next to Cherry Hill, just outside Philly, Camden, all that good shit. I lived at Atco, New Jersey, so Atco Raceway, all that good stuff. Was that Long Branch? Is that North Jersey? It's actually getting, it's almost 11. Oh, okay. Just outside New York then. Yeah, North Jersey. Yeah, I'm from South Jersey, man. What the heck? Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. No. Huh. That's how it was when I lived in Jersey. Like I said, I lived in Ventnor, just outside Atlantic City. I lived a block off the beach, so like I could go out on my front porch and look down the road and see whether there was waves, and if there was, I could go back inside and grab a board and walk across the street and be on the beach. But I'm not really a beach guy. Like, care less. It's never really my thing. I like the mountains. I like snowboarding. Pretty much the only reason I moved to Utah was just to be able to get some of the best snow there is. It's so dry because of the high elevation. All the air coming across Nevada gets sucked dry, and then we get like some of the driest snow, and it's just ugh. Can't beat it, man. Some of the best powder out there. But it is 10:30. We've been at it for, what, 3.5 hours. And I still have yet to eat my dinner. It's getting cold in my kitchen. We're going to take one quick look at this, and then I'm probably going to take off for the evening, guys. Yeah, I don't think that was a good spot then. Was the elevation not good for you? Of course, we'll have to do something to connect these. Maybe just pull down some cuboids or something. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I know, even after, shit, I've been here for 16, 17 years. And I'm acclimated, but man, going from sea level to here, I still have issues from time to time. Still gives me some trouble. Doesn't help I'm a smoker, so luckily I've cut back massively. So I used to buy basically a pack of smokes every 24 hours. If I bought a pack in the morning, I'd be buying another pack the next morning. I've gotten it down to where I buy like 2 prime times, 2 cigars. I buy one in the morning on my way to work and one on the way home, and that's all I smoke anymore as far as cigarettes or cigars. But I have other habits, so yeah. What are you gonna do? Alrighty, but like I said, I think we did pretty decent. We got some legs in there. Depending on how many more parts we use up on the body, we can start adding more detail into the legs and start adding some of the other stuff, like, you know, some of this and some of these round details in here. I don't know if anybody notices a little side strut right here that actually comes up to the side of the leg here. I'm not a vape fan. Just don't like it. Like, it's, as much as it's been around for a little while, it's still kind of unproven as to what it's going to do to you long term. Like, at least smoking's been around for a couple hundred years. They know what it does. It gives you fucking cancer. Who knows? Like, you know, there was that whole case of freaking popcorn lung and everything else with vaping because they were using that vitamin E extract or whatever. And, you know, heating it up and igniting it wasn't exactly the best thing, and, you know, fucked everyone up there. And then that makes you wonder, because again, it's not a fully regulated thing. Like, there's no one out there saying, oh, well, you know, is this tested before it goes in that bottle, before it's sold to this person? Like, not really. It's just some guy fucking blending shit together in his fucking basement, for all you know. Like, fuck that, man. Like, no. I prefer, I'll just stick to this shit that I know what it does. It kills you. It just does it really fucking slow. So, like I said, I've gotten away from it for the most part. But, well. Newports. Again, not a big fan of menthol. Can't do it. like makes me feel like I'm smoking a spearmint stick. Not into that. But we even got a scale. Look, ooh, what do we have here? Oh, for fuck's sake. I want to look at a fucking picture. Jesus Christ. Gotta love the internet sometimes. Got the same piece of shit picture? Probably. Eh. Oh, shit. We're actually building the ATDP. Oops. That's an AT-AT. This is even taller. I guess we're building an ATDP. Oh well. What are you gonna do? That front end's different. Legs are different. I think that's someone else's render. The hell that got on it? Landing pad? Alrighty then. Alright guys, so like I said, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. You guys ever have a question or feel free to ask. I see if I can answer it. I don't know everything about Blender, but I know enough, like I said, to get in trouble. Know how to get around it for the most part. So you guys ever have any questions or anything like that, just give me a shout. And thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I do have a Discord actually, Dante. Yeah, should be a link down in the description for Discord. I don't have the stream bot set up yet. Like I haven't gotten all the commands in there and everything. I'm at bare minimum, but it should be down in there. So again, thanks guys for stopping by. Maybe we'll get into something over the weekend. We'll see. I don't know exactly what I have planned, but maybe we can do some more work on it sometime over the weekend. So have a good weekend, everybody.